Artist Seak Claus Winkler. This video is an art performance as well as a piece of art and artwork itself. And in this video, as well as the other videos, I'll let you know, I'll tell you on the perspective of living like an artist who works since 40 years. And give you some inside views or perspectives you maybe are new to you, etc. So in this video, I'm telling you about things I enjoy being an artist, why I enjoy being an artist, or things I enjoy in my artist life. I did another video a few minutes before, which was like 2 hours. This is a new other version where I'm trying to go further into details. I love painting with spray cans, with fat caps, with those, and this is like not with a fat cap, this is like with a skinny cap or banana cap. But there's like super fat caps which have like a stroke like this, and then I really love painting with that. It's like a powerful thing. And I also love painting with New York fat caps or New York skinnies, which have a stroke like that. I love transforming or growing my paintings or my styles or my letters into 3D objects which look like spaceship, mechanical objects, items, mecha, tech, organic things, integrating all inspirations I'm having or nuances and going with the flow. And when I'm painting, it creates its own intelligentsia of painting like a Seak style, where I'm painting them with multiple nuances, and the painting grows like, or the style grows like a painting. Yeah. I enjoy compensating for not knowing about composition much, or layout or anything, or the golden ratio, and painting with layers and creating layers on layers on layers of my styles, so that it creates its own intelligentsia or own intelligence matrix, which has an effect on the psyche and is some kind of mental upgrade, and it can predict the future or steer the universe. Yeah, it makes you more intelligent. I enjoy being alone while painting, but I also enjoy painting in public when people are watching me, and it's like being a musician or a rapper or something, I guess. Yeah, and it has also fulfills like a narcissistic streak, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I enjoy painting with oil, and I'm enjoying it very much. And it's like my ultimate goal. I'm painting my paintings in layers since 16 years in a rotation. And then, if you will, I'm painting them in 26 years in a rotation, because I'm also painting on paintings I painted or started in the late 90s. Thought they were ready, I'm painting the back sides, but then some parts also the front sides. And I know that at the last layer I will then paint with oil, and that I really love working with oil. It's like, But I also love working with spray cans, and I also love or like working with acrylics. It's it's like, I don't know, for some, painting with oil it's a real reward, and it's like the anticipation is the greatest joy also. But I also love when I'm painting with oil how it connects the color with the psyche, with the time, and with the time delay of a few seconds of perception of reality. That's also great, because then the nuances or the pigments on the painting while painting are changing, and that creates like a vibrant situation, because we perceive everything with a few milliseconds in the past. We have already perceived, but then the colors are changing, and they're changing. The pigments, and depending on how you paint with oil, they are changing while you move the brush or the finger with the paint or the textile with the paint, while you perceive already the moment before, and that creates like an interesting situation, while the oil in the wet state also have its own magic. I love painting because I enjoy, what I love in painting or enjoy in painting is I can fulfill and enjoy the aesthetic mind cinema, porn, visuals, aesthetics can have on me, like World War II aesthetics from Germany, American post-1970s military tech aesthetics, yeah, sci-fi aesthetics, anything, you know, like super yachts, anything. I mean, I can digest that in my art with painting and keep on keeping on and playing with that thought, or things I see in computer games I really like, or anything visually I like or appreciate. I can work with that and take that energy, and while painting, indulge in that. Yeah, what I love or enjoy painting is also connect with the past. For example, these paintings here, or these styles are from 2003, not because they're from 2003, but I reckon that my style, or the way I'm painting my letters, has like some kind of like medieval or Renaissance style or aesthetic, how people painted back then. And I'm for some reason took that up. And yeah, and it connects with me on certain levels. What I love on painting is I create my own spaceships, my own yachts, and my own universe. Yeah, while completely not blending out, this is the word doubt, but not thinking about how great all the other sci-fi or spaceship artists are. And yeah, but I can still love their work too. But on the other hand, I can create my own universe and my own fleet or collection or edition. Yeah, and I literally can connect, or I can collect myself. Yeah, in a way I'm collecting my own universe. Or yeah, what I enjoy with painting is, or enjoy in art, is that I can disassociate myself from the outside world, especially in these days. And living without compromise and doing my own thing. Yeah, and yeah. What helps with me there is like audiobooks, or the internet, or Telegram, or watching YouTube videos, but also like for like the most time it was like audiobooks. And yeah, and that's kind of, but I also lived like that when I was a child, listening to Langspiel audio, like Hörspiele on vinyl, or like tapes and stuff like that. Yeah. What I love in painting, or enjoy in art or in painting, is mixing all kinds of medias together, you know, spray can, spray paint, airbrush, marker, acrylics, fine liner, oil, painting with finger, painting with roller paint, dispersion paint, painting with marker, painting with furnace, clear coat, anything which is possible on all kinds of medias, like canvas, metal, wood, canvas, anything. What I enjoy in painting or in art is that paintings can be understood all around the world and can be appreciated all around the world. Yeah, that's I think a positive thing. And what I enjoy in painting is that I can paint on walls, outside, inside, in large as well as in small. I have like all kinds of opportunities. Yeah. What I enjoy in painting is that from the first day I painted when I was a child till these days, every time was well invested. It's like the thought that, hey, I'm painting for so long. Every minute, every second I'm painting is an investment. It's an education. It's my profession. You know, it's like, for me, it's like, it would be like ridiculous to not. Like if I do something from my earliest childhood on till these days, yeah, it's just logic to keep on keeping on, because it's like so many hours in working. It's yeah, it's well invested time. What I enjoy in painting is that I can disconnect from the herd, from the sheeple, from the indoctrinated group mindset, and from people who wear unironic like bicycle helmets. I don't know, this is just a silly example, but yeah. What I enjoy in painting is that painting is like playing, like being a child again, and being able playing and having fun and just doing things like a child, you know, or you're like a youth who the adults aren't there, and it's summer holidays, and you can do what you want, and you can eat pizza every day, and you have like the whole fridge full of pizza. I mean, it's like slop pizza, of course, you know. I mean, it's European food. It's not good, but it's carbs and stuff. So maybe I shouldn't talk about food so much. Yeah. What I love about painting is the challenge that paint and color and different consistencies look like cookie dough or cake dough or food, and that it challenged me to eat something and pre-primes me on that, and it's a beautiful challenge. Yeah, so yeah, okay. Yeah, what I love about painting, is that it challenged me to learn about color or forms. And it amazes me how less we are owning our own thoughts, and how also abstract paintings can steal things in the future and can influence us, and how less we are, or how much we are steered or influenced by colors and everything, and how less we have how less we are our own mental point of origin. I mean, of course, if you get a signal in colors, we can take it up, and then we can restabilize us, or yeah. What I enjoy in art and in painting is that I can stay at home and be a homebody, homelander, if you will, and not participating in the world outside, especially in in the Europe of 2026, when you're not living on the countryside. Yeah. I really love being, but I also love painting in the streets or something, theoretically. And these days, well, it must make sense. I mean, what I also love is, what I love about being an artist or painting or enjoying painting is that I can paint my house and communicate my opinion or my perspective, or a perspective. Maybe it's just, I'm just a mirror who nobody wants, but everybody needs, you know. And, you know, it's also like a mirror, you know. So, hey, yeah, and that's something I love, yeah. That's so many liberal tears. Yeah. What I enjoy in being painting or painting since 40 years is that I can switch the medias, you know. I can go from oil to acrylics to spray paint, of course not in that direction on the same painting, and keep my life interesting and enjoy the different aesthetics. I enjoy changing the brush, working, or that creates a different atmosphere. It's a huge impact. It's like wearing different clothes, or I don't know, having a other girlfriend or something. It's different. Yeah. Painting with a different brush is like different weather, different clothes, different mindset, different day. What I enjoy painting or working with art or painting as being an artist is I can rearrange the room and change the paintings, and the whole room, the whole atmosphere, the whole life, the whole thought process, the whole self, the whole being is different. And the perception of life and of situations. Yeah, that's its own magic. It's crazy. What I enjoy painting in art is that also with no or less money, I can do something useful or paint and keep on keeping on. While then I paint details, for example. What I enjoy, what I've enjoyed being an artist, or enjoy being an artist in the past, was that I painted with so many other artists all around the world. Yeah, and we had such a great time. It's a beautiful era we have lived. We are living, we have in the past, you know. That was amazing. The golden age, they call it. The golden age. What I enjoy being an artist is that I can work sitting. Now, sitting is not healthy, I know, but I enjoy sitting on the couch or in a chair and working details on my paintings. But I also enjoy going through the studio with a palette and with a brush, and especially with like larger brushes like this, and then painting here and there, and like emptying the palette and just starting painting on the canvases, because I'm continue painting the canvases, the paintings in my rotation. I was standing around because I just want to empty the palette, and I'm not outcome dependent, and then usually I have like success or create something new or positive for me. Maybe also because I'm not used to painting with this size, and the last years I was just painting with small size. It can also be a reason. I love painting or enjoy painting with brush or with marker or with airbrush on paintings where I worked before with spray can on it. And the spray can is already dried and it's not smelling or stinking anymore. So I can then keep on painting without the smell, you know, in a more not, you know, toxic environment. I enjoy opening the windows while painting for a few minutes to get in fresh air. Or enjoy painting with open windows, but especially to the garden side. And I enjoy painting because it's in a way compensating for not being able to play computer games all the time, or play computer. Not because playing computer is gay. I mean, it is, especially when you're white and you're getting wiped off the map in all your home countries. But it's like ineffective, and it makes you addicted and everything, and it's not productive, and it's part of the matrix, la-di-da-di-da-di-da. Of course, when it's historic stuff, it also has a positive effect in a way. Anyways, the point is, painting, it's like, for me, efficient, logical step, because then I can produce, be creative, be efficient, while I'm painting, you know. It's like, in a way, I'm giving myself also this rush of colors and aesthetics and stuff like that, and forms. Of course, in a really downgraded version, you know. It's like, I would say, like giving a negative example, I don't know, you cuddle a dog and you are happy. It's a mild happiness, or you take like a gram of speed and snorting it or swallowing it, and you get like a goosebump, but then you shoot through your own nerves, and if you do that often enough, you can't feel for like 1 or 2 years nothing anymore, because there are no more nerves anymore. You have like an intense rush, and that's like playing computer games, and painting is more like cuddling a dog, you know. It's because it's not so, from the painting itself, so intense and so overwhelming, because you're consuming something other graphic design teams have created, and you yourself must create the painting itself, and of course you're not that good and everything, but it comes close, and I work with my imagination in a way, and then I don't know, it has the same vibe in a way. I mean, I'm lying to myself right now, you know, touching the ear, but it goes in that direction, and that's an efficient way, and yeah. It's compensating, but it's not. It's like, yeah. What I enjoy in painting or in art, or enjoy painting or art, is that everything I experience in life, it will be like negative or positive. Like we all know the poem "If" from Rudyard Kipling. If you can treat those imposters just the same. Uses the word, and you know, the point is, everything it's in a positive. It's positive because it goes into art history, and it's part of your story as an artist, you know, and because it's interconnected with everything. Yeah. What I enjoy painting or in art is that I can meet new people, you know. Like when people request me for a paint gig job, commercial job, custom painting, want to have a painting, etc. However you want to call it, you know, just come up with your own names. Yeah, it's always in a way a positive thing, and it's you indulge into, maybe say we paint then on location something for somebody, or for somebody. We paint something and they enjoying it, they want something. Then it's like you are going into a new universe, into your own thing, and you interact with everybody, and it's like, you're an outsider coming inside a group, and and that's interesting, and it's having lots of perspectives from all kinds of different people. What I enjoy is I can paint on my own and not having to, that's, I'm like my own, this is like perfect. I mean, what I enjoy about art is that depending on how which language I'm speaking, if I speak German or English, I perceive the world, my art, everything in a different way. It's a different mindset, different, different matrix. What I like about being an artist, or I enjoy being an artist or in art, is that seeing my influence, which can go in all kinds of directions, also in directions which go against myself or my own interest, but what I enjoy, or I must enjoy because it's part of reality, is to reverse engineer how my art is influencing others, and what my art or a particular painting or thing I painted or is like influencing, and how it influences people, also their behavior. That's always interesting, and it keeps on surprising and impressing me. What I enjoy being an artist is that it makes sense working in terms of that, like I don't even have to think about something. When I have enough paintings in my rotation, as always, I know the next step I must do, I can do, and how my paintings are growing, and there's always something useful for doing, and without any much thought or creativity. It's always the next step. It's always endless working, and it's also endless play. And there's always a comfort zone I can overcome and try something, or not trying, but doing something new. And it forces me to be not too creative. I'm touching my ear, I'm lying. Does it force me? It's a question. The thing is, if I repeat myself, I'm getting disgusted. So, and I'm doing that too often. So I must then play with something new, try something new in my work, to stay self-entertained. Yeah, and of course sometimes I'm painting too often the same stuff, and I'm getting, disgusted, and then when the disgust is large enough, then I'm trying something new or doing it in a different way, or what I reckon, now everything here and this thing looks the same, I must change my pattern. So, yeah. What I enjoy being an artist is I can also work with worn-out tools, or with broken brushes, or with fingers, or with rest paint, or with anything, and I can keep on keeping on and creating something beautiful or interesting, and something from value. And what I enjoy in art or in painting is that I'm working for myself. I'm not working for somebody else. Even when someone hires me and wants something have painted, I'm working for myself. And it's also an opportunity to, if people have a wish or something or an idea, it depends. Are they testing me? If I'm say, okay, no problem. Or tell them that, this is, I come with a diplomatic solution and coming up with a better solution, and educating, or educating, parenting them or creating them onto a better idea or better aesthetic or my aesthetic, or and listen. It's also something to do with listening. Yeah. Mm. What I like in painting is in art, I can be like on an ego trip and thinking like I'm the greatest, and I can create great works with that mindset. Of course, it's dangerous regarding other people, because then if that ego jumps over, it backfires. Because then or it can backfire, especially when you have like collectors or other artists. It doesn't make you sympathetic, or people then take that what you said and run with that, and then you are like a bad person forever, blah blah blah. And so yeah. But I can use any state and work in that state, and it creates an interesting art or painting, or an interesting vibe in the painting, or probably similar to someone who's singing, who can use also any emotion or baseline emotion to work with that and create a song or a piece or music or something. But it's also an inefficient way of working, because you can also probably do great works of art without going into an emotion. The question is, are they then generic, sterile, artificial, almost AI-like in the artwork? Because what I like and enjoy in art is that also inabilities and cannot paint this or that way can make a painting or a style charismatic, And I'm also using that for my work, and then it makes paint. It's like the same with beautiful people. Beautiful people, often people can't remember them, but people who are not perceived as beautiful or like super giga chat attractive, those are the people can remind themselves. Same goes maybe also for art. What I like and I enjoy in art is that every clothing I'm wearing, every piece of clothing, every different style or connotation the clothing is connotated with, or gives me a different vibe, a different persona, which then affects maybe also with the music I'm listening or the sound I'm listening, gives me a different vibe. And then I create a different self, and then in that self I'm creating a different piece of art, or I have a different idea. What I enjoy in art is my knowledge about colors, to stabilize myself and not to get taken away by the colors in an uncontrollable way, and then be getting depressed or getting in this or that emotion, because these days I have enough color knowledge and form knowledge to be aware of that, or knowing that, and then can catch myself. And it's an advantage I'm having. Yeah. What I enjoy in art is that I learned that I'm also absolutely okay to be a few years alone, or a few decades, and or having just rarely contact with other people. Especially since I'm doing these wake-up talks since 2.5 years, I'm realizing how stupid people are and how dumbed down people are. Okay, I was also like that, and someone had to wake me up. People had to wake me up. So just touching my own nose and staying humble and staying grounded, I also did a painting about that phenomenon in terms of the nuclear, the people who are just clear or woken up to a certain truth, or now, but that was around drugs, and that they are maybe they should also stay. Anyways, so, okay. What I enjoy in art is the different pre-priming and personalities every medium and every tool, or every that spray can, the brush, this paint, that paint has on my psyche and myself, and that it gives me a certain energy, or steers me in a certain direction. Also in terms of being a male and not being socially engineered by the outside world and by the leftist anti-white system, and all the psyops they are running on us. What I enjoy being an artist is that I can influence people. For example, and I know when I influenced someone, but I also know that they are not giving anything back directly to me, not even a credit or anything. I already know that. I mean, I can accepted that. But I'm giving you an example. For example, I love the novels from Bernard Cornwell, the series, the Sharp series, Major Richard Sharp, as well as the Starbucks series. And yeah, I'm manipulative, but I did. Everybody who's fan of that series, I did you a favor too. So I was like, I know how influential it's a name, Seak, Claus Winkler and stuff like that, you know. Yeah. So I steered Bernard Cornwell to write one more novel on Starbucks, as well as that novel with Mr. Richard Sharp when he was in Paris and stuff like that. So, because I wrote comments in his, you know, so you can thank me, okay? There's a few other things I influenced, which also are very beneficial for us, but I maybe don't want to talk about that. Maybe then Mossad takes me out, or those people behind the mess, you know, and stuff like that. Yeah, but I also talked about that in other videos. Shout out to Martin Sellner and Eva Vladingerbrück. Yeah, yeah, as well as HT and Some Truth, and many others. Yeah, so that was about influence and being influential and stuff like that. Yeah, but I'm also influenced by other people, you know. And for example, I have neighbors here which influenced me on painting my house in a certain direction, or that was of definitely nudges. And it was like, and I was like, oh man, yeah, it comes from them. And then I was like giving him a hug. I was like, I'm sorry, I have to put your name here on the wall too. And then he was like, no. Yeah, so yeah, we are all influencing each other, you know. So shout out. It was like a few years ago. I had like women from my old village where I used to live, like when I was a teen, and they were like women who would like run like a magazine, and they were here, and I knew them from when they were like probably in their teens too, or even younger. And then, anyways, or they knew me then, I don't know. So they were running a magazine, and they were here, and then I told them about like how hooked I was just from watching on a certain woman from that village who wasn't like, it's not a non-European woman, and how mesmerized I was by her looks. And then they were like, she has now this and that and da-da-da. And I was like, oh, really? It was just more just lust, you know. I've never thought about having children, you know, but also not having children. Also because my father became me very late. So anyways, so they were nudging me in a pro-white direction without me knowing it. Yeah, so I have to thank them too. So there's so many indirect influences. And it's an ungrateful thing, because often we don't know who gave us that positive influence. But maybe sometimes when we reverse engineer, we know this like years or decades later. So I should be more calm with me being like, I don't get any, people are getting inspired by me, I'm not getting anything back, la-di-da, so it's all good. Or how often I took something or became something and was not giving something back. Yeah, so maybe... What I like being an artist is I'm learning about words and how words are, you know, people say something in German, trying to influence me, and then I'm learning then months or weeks later the same word in English, and then I was like, he was like saying this in German, but it influenced me on this English version level. I shouldn't tell you my tricks, or I'm not doing tricks or anything, but it's just like something I learn. I don't know if that's connected with art, but it's part of my perception or something. What I like about being an artist is that I can use earphones or headphones to lock myself off the world. Because when you're painting or sitting here, you listen, I'm reading and listening every word, every sound on the street, for example. And that's, yeah, intense. So what is great is then having headphones on so I can disconnect from the outside world. Or I love sound of nature, or from birds and from animals. What I like about or love about being an artist is that I can do videos like this or reaching out into the universe, and sometimes it gives me I don't know, it creates some kind of value for me. But I also love or like or enjoy being alone, or being able to being okay with being alone, you know. Because also when you want to connect with people or reaching out, they use that as an, how do you call that, as a disadvantage for you, you know, like, he wants to connect with people, la-di-da, that's his weakness, so we can get something for free or cheaper or anything, or doesn't have to buy his work, la-di-da-di-da. Yeah, so that's, yeah, what I enjoy, like if I could, with my graffiti background, I could connect with all around the world with artists directly. It's like, I don't know, being like in a motor bicycle club, or I don't know, having like Swazis tattooed and was in a prison gang or something, or it's like, I don't know, it goes probably with other people too, you know. It's like you can connect directly with, and they were like, everybody would be like, oh, cool, blah, blah, blah. And you could work with them together or do like a wall or something. That's something, it's an option, you know. I must focus on my own work. Yeah, and then, yeah. So, but this is like an option I can use worldwide. But these days, I think it's more important, or we must do something to, you know, yeah, like white people are 7 to 8% minority, so that has priority to fight back, you know, the moderate option. What I love about being an artist is that I can paint anybody, no, not anybody, of course, but anywhere in the world, you know. I could paint on a boat, a yacht, a ship, a plane, in a train, while riding a train, while the train is flying. I don't know if I can paint in a helicopter. It doesn't make sense, but you know. But in on a new boat, on an oil rig, on a bus, camping, at some estate or villa. It's like the option, you know, especially when you paint details. I have so many paintings, I'm painting details. I'm switching also here the rooms all the time, painting in this room or that room, especially in winter time or in the rain season, or when it's cold outside. Cold outside, stout, when the weather is that's a beautiful thing. And also what I love about being an artist is that when I'm it's like when I'm in nature or somewhere, I get inspired or refueled with positive or good energy. Also when I'm, say, doing a hike in the woods in the rural area or something and it's raining, it's also good. It inspires me, the mud, everything. Not mud sharks, of course. Oh, we are talking politics again. Anyway. What I love being an artist is I can connect with, on an intuitive level, with my forefathers, and everything which is there is floating through me into my paintings. And probably lots of this stuff, it's genetic or it's in my DNA, and I don't even know it. I'm not even knowing it, because how much do we know from our forefathers? What I love about my art, or being an artist, or doing art in art, is that we just reckon as humans just a few % of our reality, and the rest, it goes around the sensor and is unrecognized. And being an artist, you often get a glimpse into this other 90% or more than 90%, and that's that's an interesting thing, and I can make use from that. And what I enjoy being an artist is I can work all around the time in my own time frame. And and it also means, but you're never finished. You can keep on painting on. It's also a marathon, of course. what I love being an artist is that I can paint in all kinds of sizes, you know, like this small size or super small size, or then in 20, 100 times larger than this. 100 times I must think, but this is, even that would be possible. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.